You might be familiar with the saying, justice delayed is justice denied. And I mean, it's an apt saying. It's a good one. I was speaking actually to Ty Northcott last night. You might remember him. He ran the big illegal rodeo in Alberta during the COVID restrictions. Well, his next court date over that is coming up in this June. That'll be more than 2 years since the rodeo was held, I believe. And who knows how long before that's all finished. Now, Section 11 of the Charter covers the rights for people who've been charged with offenses. Subsection B states the person has a right to be tried within a reasonable time. Now, reasonable, that's a subjective term, and it's open to interpretation. In Canada, the waiting list to get on trial, though, is becoming unreasonable by any interpretation. A trial has been scheduled for April 2024 for 3 men who were charged with mischief over 5,000 for their alleged roles in the Coutts border blockade during the truckers' convoy protests last year. That'll be 26 months after the alleged offense. Now, while the term mischief makes the charge sound minor, the men charged could be sentenced to as long as 10 years for that offense. So is it fair or humane to keep them waiting for over 2 years with such penalties hanging over their heads? I don't want to go down the rabbit hole of whether or not the charges against these particular men or the potential sentence is appropriate. That's a separate issue for a separate show. They are entitled to defend themselves in a court in a timely manner, though, and they won't be getting that. In 2016, the Supreme Court in Canada put its foot down and set a ceiling of 30 months for Superior Court trials and 18 months for provincial court. Yeah, those numbers represented what the Supreme Court wanted to bring the times down to at that time. Now, when a person is awaiting trial, their life is in limbo. They aren't convicted of anything, yet they're living under limitations. They might be held in remand for that period, or they might be released with bail conditions. They usually can't legally travel, and they certainly can't make any long-term life plans when they don't know if they're going to be incarcerated for a period of time in the future. Now, in a system when a person is presumed innocent, they're enduring quite a bit of punishment before they have a chance to try and prove their innocence. These waits also, of course, increase pressure upon people charged to plead down to lesser offenses just to get it all over with. It's a pretty rough choice to make if you believe yourself to be innocent. Now, of course, not everybody waiting for trial is innocent. I mean, most of them are probably guilty. Due to the long waits for these trials, though, the resources in remand and such are becoming scarce. Criminals that should have been considered too dangerous for bail are often released due to pressures to relieve remand space. Prosecutors and judges, again, they're more inclined to pursue plea bargains to try and catch up with some of the backlog as well. So some terribly dangerous people are getting light sentences due to this. Now, justice reform rarely becomes an election issue, but it really should. The government is too big and intrudes into our lives in way too many ways as it is, but one area that they should be involved in is justice. Policing and justice are clear areas where we need government authority, and we're starving for both of them. The protection of the public from crime should be a prime priority for governments, and they're failing. We need to increase expenditures and expand our criminal trial ability. I mean, justice reform, yeah, it just isn't a flashy issue, and it isn't an easy one to deal with. Solutions to the backlogs in the court system, they aren't going to come fast. Recruiting and retaining more prosecutors, public defenders, and judges can't be done overnight, and it won't come cheap, but it has to be done all the same. Currently, the system is failing. Citizens charged with crimes and it's failing the citizens who have been charged with crimes. It's failing the citizens who want to be protected from the criminals. I mean, if the government can't maintain even a justice system, what the hell good is it?
Canadian Shooting Sports Association. Without the CSSA, our gun rights would have been taken long ago. These guys are on the front lines helping to draft smart and intelligent firearms regulations and legislation in Canada, and more importantly, educating the public about how we keep guns out of the hands of the wrong people. To become a member, it's absolutely worth every penny. You can become a Western Standard member for just $10 a month or $99 a year for unlimited access